Hey everyone, welcome back to a little more Tales of Arise. BogMod here. Alright, let's talk to Kasara the Protector.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Elderman Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to.
This is one of the dialogues that I thought was like, you know what? I like Kasara as a character.
That goes for you too,
It's a good response.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure
you need amongst the most protecting, buddy. You have no sense of pain.
You can all count on me.
You have no idea the damage your enemies inflict on you.
What was Kelzalik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
I think he was maybe expecting outside
assistance.
assistance.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part.
So this is another interesting example where Law's character, I feel, kind of diverges
even though doing
from
so
where he was and where he started at, right? So you gotta remember,
I've said this before, but Danans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your
Law
but that was
came from a society
nor do I feel any pride
of constant paranoia, watching one another, all that sort of
you
stuff.
You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
He was an agent
Shion
of its secret service, more or less. And was
speak no more
spying on everybody. But that feels like it's kind of fallen by the wayside. And that it's not really, you know, he doesn't understand motivations, he doesn't understand people. When that was all kind of literally his job. I know he's supposed to be young. We didn't spend too much time on what he was, but it's a little weird to me. So, now I wanted to go do this quest in here.
I think there's someone in trouble here.
What?
Oh? Yeah. Yeah. Why?
What?
This librarian wants to check out all the fancy books.
Yeah. Got it. Great.
Bibliophile.
I hate that a woman.
She was a handful, wasn't she?
What's wrong with being passionate? Not to mention, she was kind of cute.
Of course that's why you like her.
And also he's kind of, I guess, a bit of a horn dog. But, like, given where his character arc started, him being kind of a bit of a dumb muscle, and the horn dog,
Looks like we get to sleep
It's a
with
weird
roof
angle
over
for
our
him.
heads.
Nope, that's not the one I want. So we go over here. Get those books.
I always love the sound of hammers banging.
Back over here.
Nope. Way.
There we are. Secret of the Stars.
Well,
Prized heirloom of my family. Genuine.
yeah.
Gives us 5 happy bottles, and we get this lovely new skill panel. Which gives you more AG.
I don't think I'll ever quite warm up to her. But I can respect her passion for books.
There we go. And then we show her the next book. Nature's Beauty.
No.
It's too powerful. I fear it's going to blow my clothes straight off.
Wow!
Really? So, like, I don't know why La's here, except to be all like, ooh, behold, I'm horny.
Hey!
Oh?
Got some rosemary.
Why?
Taming water. Its Shakespeare core fills my heart with tears. I'm going to be soaking wet before I finish. Meanwhile, La's like, "Ooh, really?
Watch it! Hey!
And a magic emblem.
Oh?
With every page it glows more and more brightly. Choice must feel to have someone reading you. I need you to calm down, okay? Otherwise I can't see what's inside you.
No way.
She's reading. That explains it. Never trust a bookworm. Anyways, yeah, Law's in a weird situation. See with you. With you, miss? Yeah, you're a teacher. You never do anything bad. We want you to keep teaching us. Aw, see? All the run-ins who are still around are the good guys. That weren't horrible racist monsters. Alright, so we got a few other quests to acquire, which I won't do right away. So many rooms. Well, they're all just monster killing quests anyways, and I can afford to level up a little bit more anyways before I do them.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
This guy wants me to fight a giant rock monster, which is a few levels above where I want to be.
You okay? Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Walking crag, does whatever a walking crag can. They're all just like a couple levels above where I'd want to be before I took them on.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
She wants us to fight a giant boar, and at the same time she's like, we can get along without you. And also, she's all like, I'm gonna be like a big sister to everybody. Rinwell, your clothes are dirty. Let me wash them for you. And they went out of here.
We finally made it.
And this woman's all like,
I think someone's calling out for...
Lord Dohalim, there's a giant monkey.
Hello.
Could you kill it for us?
Right.
The Simian Zoodle. Anyways, we will do those later. I got a few levels to get. I'd like maybe a little bit better gear.
Always good to be
On top of that,
back in familiar territory.
we're going to Windland.
Off we go.
Mahog Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Out of our way!
You're mine!
Radiant
Ready to
Can you take it?
Reload! I'm all stopped up!
I'll take out the leg with my shield.
Mega Ray!
All mine! No escape! Struck!
Guy is mine!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Into the shadows!
Elusive
Here I come!
There we go. The boars, not exactly tough for me anymore.
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Get lost!
You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha! Burn! Elusive deity! Sword Rain Alpha!
This one's mine! If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover, okay? Here I go!
Make it rain!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
I'll face you! Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm all stocked up!
Swallow
Go
blade.
in! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself
Luckily,
finished!
the boars will soon be replaced with higher level enemies, more worthy of my time, and more importantly,
That's some power you
more
wield.
worthy of my
You're the one
experience.
who did the heavy lifting.
Get the owl.
Ooh.
I know.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
I will check back with the force in due time, Rinwell. Due time.
Out of our way! Got you! Going... Denied!
Can you take it? Severing What? I'm ready!
Bizarra! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble. Think we overdid
Take
it?
this!
Not by a long shot.
Elusive deity! Slice!
Take this out of ammo!
All mine!
I'm all stocked up!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Bizarra! Do it!
This calls for a celebratory drink.
Sure.
There's something in the water.
So this is where we finally get access
Pond here.
Yeah,
fishing.
This is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid,
While
I
she talks,
survived
actually, I'm
life
gonna
under
drink.
the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible.
And
to
we can
swim
hear
in,
her
but
backstory.
great for catching a bite for dinner
Oh,
away from Ren and Oz.
Poor Kisara.
Bear in mind, Our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
I mean, I'm making a
You
little light of
must
her
not
past
be
here, but
familiar
like,
with fishing if
to be
this is
fair,
new to you.
she grew up
Here,
a horribly
let me
abused
show you
slave,
how it's
so
done.
I should be nicer about things. But yeah, now we can go fishing. Fishing, fishing, fishing.
Everything looks fine with the lure. All right, let's do this.
Whee!
Reel it in.
The fish makes little moves, and I gotta counter its moves. Well, it does the epic battle music.
Anybody could reel in that.
Nice, you caught it.
We caught a bass.
Oh, we've got a lively one.
Oh. There you go.
Anybody could reel in that.
You sure know
that was
what
a
you're
big
doing.
guy, though. I'll try one more.
Ha! Reel it in.
Yeah, there, as you can tell, there was a second fish in there. Gotcha.
Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
You sure know what you're doing.
I think I need to use a different rod or something. Quit fishing.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me.
Yes, it's not like a swordsman needs good reflexes.
Kisara, I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
And suddenly...
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime,
There we
just
go.
let me know.
Now we can do fishing.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us. Okay!
And I got the fishing expert, so I can trade fishing with him. Got a rod and a beginner's popper. There we go. Heal this guy. And get back to my miss. Sorry, I forget I spoke.
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing...
Walking, not talking, just walking.
Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Yeah, I think her
Right.
explanation
From
for it
being
all
in
is...
the Elder Menancia Guard.
Makes
Although, Dohalim's
quite a lot of
capable
sense.
of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
You were just judging,
But
Law.
she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Oh, Rinwell.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Alright. And here we are, the next zone.
Something feels odd
Well,
here.
not quite.
Be on your guard.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move.
This is
into
where we get the
attack,
explanation
but
for
otherwise they slip
Dohalim's
past
power.
Damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that
Like,
he
yeah.
can make plants grow to hold the enemies
I don't
in
feel
place.
like Law should be,
At
given
least
his
I think
upbringing,
that's probably what he's saying.
should be this kind of
Glad
idiot
at least
about
one of us
what's being told.
understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too.
Yeah,
We always
but you
lived in
did
hiding.
join up
I
with
never
their
had a
society
spirit core embedded
in
in me like I was supposed to.
Cislodia.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To
Can
be
you not give
completely
it to
honest,
adults?
I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only
That'd be
exception.
an interesting detail, I
They
suppose.
tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. And what about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renin doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now.
So this is also
Not a
actually
guardsman
it's
or a
for different
slave.
reasons. Mostly because, like,
I'm my own woman.
she
And
didn't
this is
seem
my
upset
chance to
about
have a new
the
beginning.
situation. If anything, she was proud of it before.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons apparently have been resigned to just accepting things as they
Well,
are.
also, let's be
Still,
honest.
You can't just blame them for...
By and large, the Renan Lords didn't seem inclined
What are you
to
making that
expend
face for?
public efforts
You're
on
not worn out
infrastructure.
already, are you?
Slave or no.
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
See, it's like, why, Law? That was a good discussion everyone just had. Anyways. Law's in a weird place for me. We'll take our break, though, here. Come back, and, yeah, new enemies. It'll be fun.